もう外に出る？
うん。
出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれ、ない。
いや、この下だよ。
えー、すごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ、この島の人口は何人
？16人だよ。
あれ、アンディ、手に何を持っているの？
ドーナツだよ。
一口ください。
いいよ。
料理が上手だね。
いや、下手だよ。
もう外に出る？
うん。
出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれ、ない。
いや、この下だよ。
えーすごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ、この島の人口は何人？
16人だよ。
あれ、アンディ、手に何を持っているの？
ドーナツだよ。
一口ください。
いいよ。
料理が上手だね。
いや、下手だよ。Sorry about that.
はい、みんなようこそ。すいません、お待たせしまし
It
た。
actually wasn't Tech this time, it was me. But we'll talk about that later when we get to the reason. People have noticed that the picture today is of Typhoon, the Typhoon number 5. Typhoon Gogo.
これですね。ここ、台風5号。
Yuki thought up until about 15 minutes ago that the typhoon was coming today. But it actually already passed by over the past 2 days. Thus all the rain and all that stuff, with the windy days and stuff. The reason for all of that was that the typhoon, which was no longer a typhoon, it was just a tropical storm, was passing by over the past 2 days.
I didn't notice that.
Did not notice that at all. Thanks, Grammy. Yeah, nice flowery shirts. It's funny. I've liked these shirts, so I bought a bunch more in the same size off Mercari, like 5 more, and they were all significantly smaller than this one, despite being the same size. So now they're Yuki's, and I've bought one size larger, a bunch more. So now we can have matching shirts. It's nice. Yes, indeed, Dan. Dan used to live in Hawaii, so he's probably got a bunch of these.
ね、今度からToKini Andy の夏のユニフォームはアロハシャツです。
Yes, from now on, the ToKini Andy uniform is aloha shirts because they're so comfortable in the summer. The 100% rayon, which I believe is made from bamboo, made in Hawaii stuff, is when we don't have an air conditioner in this room yet, it makes life a lot more comfortable. So, anyway.
はい。
So yes,
みんな
Typhoon.
お待たせしてごめんね。
Hi, sorry about that.
もう私たちがこの台風で飛んでっちゃってる間に、ね。
So we got blown away by the typhoon, so it took us a while to get back to the computers. I've got some, including a kaiju Hawaiian shirt. Nice, yeah. We're gonna have to make some ToKini Andy Hawaiian shirts for our summer uniforms. So today we're getting started on lesson 11. We're covering a bunch of new kanji, of course. And we're going to be approaching the writing section slightly different. Our worksheet's going to be a little bit different for this one. Hopefully, you guys will find it as helpful as I think it will be. And yeah, that's exciting. But before that, of course, we got to get started with the quiz.
Hi.
Which means, man, this is getting heavier. I think Yuki's got a box full of some of these as well. She's just got them in her hand. Oh, we can already see some of them. Oh. Didn't we have another one of these somewhere?
Somewhere.
Somewhere, ne?
でもなんか full of toy だよね。
We can throw out the toys. All right, so the first word for today is going to be this one. There's not too many people here right now, so I'm not sure if there will be a whole lot of participation in the quiz, but that means there should be lots of time for you to get first place, whoever you are. All right. Hayai. Regent, welcome to the quiz and stream. You're in first place with 5-Toed Sloth Bear in second, and Come to Japan Dan with a question mark. Is that Wakaru? It is indeed. Forrest is in second place with Yuki. Yuki in fifth, but also in first apparently. With the number 1 crown on her head.
So,
apparently that's a new thing on YouTube where for comments and super chats, you get a ranking.
うん
I don't know. Completely new. It wasn't on last week or 2 weeks ago. But it is this week. Montana Margo is in 6th place. Very good job. That is wakaru. Which means to understand. To understand. All right, let's see what Yuki's got for us. We're going to jump over to her.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going, Kemi? Welcome to the stream. Oh, we've still got a picture for Yuki.
私そうだよねこれ消さないといけなかったわカード選んでる場合じゃないわこれ私が好きなやつにするわ
私が好きなやつにするんだ。はい。
ランダムとはって感じだよね
見えるよ。
見たもう見えちゃった
見えてないと思うけど見えるかもしれない。I wonder if you can change the points levels on your side. I can't do anything as far as I can
い
tell.
くよじゃん
はい、OK。
これってまだいけんのかなこの
ズーム全然できる。
ほほう
はい。
おハンター TC さん1番リージェントさん惜しい5トルドスロースベアも惜しい惜しくない5トルドスロースベア2番リージェントさん3番フォレストさん4番カムトジャパンさん5番いいよね合ってるよね、ちょっとチェック最大チェックモンタナマーゴ惜しい
Close, but it's not sweet. It's
T You
as
need a
in
T
nuts.
はーい5番までかな
はい、alright. Let's see what we got over on my side.
マーゴ来るマーゴが来るかな6番に
Let me get mine out. Let's see what we got. There it is. There it is. There it is.
モンタナマーゴ惜しい
Yep. Ah! Need the E there.
そうそう
い
プロバブリ
タッチね
タイポ
はい。
はい
Alright, on to mine. Oh, got it. Mine is off center there.
おほようこそ
Ah! Close, but not quite. Tsu-i. To type it on a computer, you need to type it like this.
よしこんな
Right. You got the kanji there, Corsair, but we want to see how it's read there. I mean, to get the kanji, obviously, you needed to write it correctly. But Hunter TC is in first place with Regent in second, Five-Toed Sloth Bear in third, Come to Japan Dan in fourth, and Forest in fifth place. Poof, welcome to the stream. You are in sixth. Grammy, there you go. That was the correct one. All right. And Corsair gets there as well in seventh place. Nice job. That is correct. Hopefully, I could probably be a little bit more focused, eh? So yes, this is not a difficult one, it seems. You guys are all up to pace here. Wakarimashita, hajimemashita. Welcome to the stream.
はいようこそ
Thank you, thank you.
ありがとうございます
We're all
ラブ
flowery
リー
today.
シャツありがとうございますラブリーシャツ
Right. Let's see what Yuki's got for us
Hi.
over on her end. Let's go.
じゃーんこれフォーカスできてるの
あ、できた。
あオッケー
もうできてた。
もうできてる
もうしに行ったじゃん
はいもう OK はい
Yuki のモニターは
そう
ちょっと
ですハワイアンシャツですあハンター TC さんまた1番
ピンポン。
素晴らし
お
い
ーナイス
ファイブトールスロースベア2番リージェント3番 E&D4 番カムトジャパン5番いいですな、
はい。
フォレストさん6番はい6番まで来ています順調です
All right, let's see what we can go on to. What am I going to pull out? I'm not going to look. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to cheat. Overhead, Andy. 私も入れるか。早くない？あ、違うか。前のやつ。Yuki is in 7th place. All right. So don't forget to hit the live button on your screen so that there's a little red dot next to it and turn up the speed of the live stream to as fast as it can go so you can get caught up and get first place in the quiz using technology. First place is Hunter TC with Corsair in second. Five-Toed Slothbear, looks like you missed an Yuki is in third place. Second place, I guess, actually. Third place with Regent in fourth. Forest in fifth. Come Japan Dan in sixth. And Montana Margot in seventh place. Lich Nug... I can't remember how to pronounce that name. Nugan. I can't remember how to pronounce it. I used to know. Hey, you're in eighth place, Lich. And Poof said, how have you guys been recently? Pretty good. Very busy, but good.
Yeah.
We've been working really hard on the N4 Kanji deck, and it's been coming along really well. So that's been exciting. Super busy with that. Hunter TC says, thank you for the Genki playlist. And Andy, I'm almost done on a Genki lesson 23 right now. That's exciting. Do you think I can jump right into Quartet, or should I do something else first? You're welcome to jump right into Quartet if you want. There's not that much of a leap, I don't think. Five Dust Loft Bear, you are in ninth place. Excellent job. All right, let's see what Yuki's got for us.
はい、いきます。じゃーん
Sushi. It's an expensive piece of sushi.
そうですよ。これね、これ、ワンピース4これ
Or
です。
or it's a very crunchy sushi.
あ、ハンター TC 1番、ファイブトードスロースベア2番、リージェント3番、カムトジャパン4番。だままで入れてくれましたね。なんて読むの？コーセアさん、5番、フォレスト6番。合ってます。漢字も合ってる。漢字も正解です。
I heard it's a lot of reading and there's no furikana. I feel like I would like that to the kanji. I know, but miss it for the ones I don't.
いい感じです。
Fortunately, Hunter, there's an extra book at the back, a booklet that has all of the readings for all of the words that pop up throughout the stories. So they're not in the stories, but you can see the readings if you have that little extra booklet. You pull it out and open it up next to the book while you're reading. So it's not so bad. All right, our next word is...
あ、待って。アントン K さん。
Welcome to the stream, Anton.
ようこそ。
何番？
5。惜しい。多分タイポ
Ah, yeah, you got a B in there.
そう。
いや、でもタイポでもないかもしれないね。
本当？ひゃでお願いします。
500円ね。500円。
お願いします。
500円。はい、let's see what I got for you.
ありがとうございます。神さん、ありがとうございます。ありがとう。お、早い。みんな早すぎない？
Five-Toed Sloth Bear. You are in first place. No, you're not. I'm sorry. Hunter TC is in first place with Five-Toed Sloth Bear in second, Corsair in third, Region in fourth, Come to Japan Dan in fifth, and Forest in sixth place. Anton sneaks in there in seventh with Montana Margot in eighth place. Thank you very much, everyone. If you want to participate in the stream, you're welcome to write in Roman characters. You do not need to use hiragana if you don't have a Japanese keyboard installed on your computer or phone just yet. Still feel free to answer if you know how to read the word on screen. Excellent job. I knew it was impossible to be in first place. You were so close. You were so close. Over on my screen, nope. You're not in first on the iPad either. Oh well.
みんな早いな。
Very fast. Let's see what Yuki's got for us. Whoa, 早い。
そう、もう出しておきました。
お、もう出てるね。
質問が。
いいよ。
ハンター TC さん1番、ファイブトードスロースベア2番、カムトジャパンさん3番、リージェントさん4番、アントン K さん惜しい。
Yes, Hunter.
でも Yes だ。これ
Kami-san, I think you're in 9th or 10th from the last section. Good job.
ねえねえ、このアントン K さん OK にしたい。
どうぞ。
いいちょっとオールドファッションすぎ
It's not the way we learned it, and it's old-fashioned, but we can give Kunin a pass.
はい、じゃあクニンも OK にしたいと思います。アントン K さん9番、カミーさんは
もうそっち言った。
モンタナバーゴ惜しい。
You want to type not
そう
ku, you want to type ki, you.
そうキユ
Actually, I'm sorry, not ki, you. Q. So. Kami-san has the way to type it right there. That is correct.
フォレスト10番。
そんなに
うん、そうそう。フォレスト10番だよね。
1、2、3、4、
あ、違う？
5、
あ、違う。フォレスト5番。
6だよ。
マジで？
6。
まずハンターでしょ？
6ですよ。
5ロード
6。
C。
神様7。
ほんとだ、神さん。神さん6。
7ですよ。7。
7。はい。神さんが7。
I typed Kunin first, but then changed it. Yeah, Kunin is much more common
ほんとだ、
these
神さん
days.
7。
はい。
で、
それで終わりですよ。
コーセラさん推し。
はい。
すいません、数が全然数えられない数。
はい。Here's mine. Let's see if we can get this one. Gaku, welcome to the stream. こんばんは。
はい、こんばんは。もう悲しいし、なぜこの指何してるの本当に。
そうだね。指の意味とは。Hunter TC must be next door because he's in first place again. Anton, you are in second place. Ian, welcome to the stream. You're in third place. Regent, fourth place. Nimitz the Fish, long time no see. You're in fifth place. All right. Corsair is in sixth place. Not quite. I'm sorry. Corsair, that is not quite right. Five does lot, you're in sixth place with Forest. In seventh place, Montana Margo, you are correct. In eighth place, Come to Japan Dan says, 今月は7月です. That is correct. In ninth place, I always type 今月 first and then have to change it. And yet you still got first place. Gaku, you're in first. Corsair says, yabai. Super close. Yeah, this is 今月. Getsu. Yeah, easy one to mix up. There's way too many readings that are way too close to each other for Getsu. For moon, right? Is what it is, though. Let's see what Yuki's got for us.
はい。じゃじゃん。また難しいやつにしました。このタイポ、みんなタイポしちゃうかな、これ。あ、全然タイポしてない。ついに5トードスロスベアが1番です。ハンター TC2 番。アントン K 惜しい。円までお願いします。リージェントさん3番、フォレスト4番、コーセル5番、ニミツダフィッシュ久しぶり6番、アントン K さん、OK です。キャッチアップして7番、円はちょっと後からの7番にカウントしてあげよう。ガクさん8番、カムトジャパン9番、モンタナマーゴ10番です。
はい。
合ってるよね。
合ってる。Alright, I think that's
みんな素晴らしい。
I think that's 10, but we're gonna do one more just for fun. We'll go with this one. Boom. One more for each of us. Nice job, Kami. That is 11th place for you. Hunter TC. Kicking butt there in first place. With 5 toes Slot Bear in second, Nimitz the Fish in third, Regent in fourth, Corsair in fifth, Forest in sixth, Ian in seventh, Gaku in eighth, Anton in ninth, and Come to Japan Dan with a white heart in 10th place. That was very fast. Nice job.
ねえ。みんな素晴らしいですね。
Montana Margo, that is correct. You are in 11th place. All right. Is Yuki going to do a bonus one too?
Yuki もボーナスワンやるか。
All right. Let's see what she's got for us. Popping over to Yuki.
はい、これでいきます。じゃん。
Oh, that's a good one.
これもみんな間違えちゃうかな。みんなとても早いんだよ。
早いっすよ。
お、ハンター TC さん惜しい。
Close.
5トートスロースベア1番、E&D2 番、リージェントさん3番、コーセイヤさん4番。はい。モンタナマーゴ5番。カムトゥジャパン6番。結構文章を入れてくれてありがとうございます。そう、来年は2026年迎えられるといいですね。あ、ハンター TC さん。ね、I was thinking of 今年って言ってるけど、ちょっとクロスでしたね。ニミツダフィッシュ7番、フォレスト8番、モンタナマーゴは OK だったので、
モンタナマーゴ5ね。
そうそう、モンタナマーゴ5th だった。ガクさん9番、アントン K さん10番、 神さん11番
Not
いい
quite.
かな。
Kami-san wa close, but that would be
本当だ。
nen だ
ちょっ
ね。
とタイプがありました。
はい。
ミスタイプトです。
So close. So close.
神さん
So close. はい。
N でお願いします。
お願いします。
はーい。
Alright,
来
guys.
年でした。
Good job on the quiz today. Today, we are going to be doing things pretty much the same as always, but our
Hi.
worksheets are going to be a little different than usual.
So-
You know, our worksheets from the videos, they have the full sentence on them, and that's what we've been doing within the streams. But we found that while I think those worksheets are useful, it's probably much more useful to be able to practice multiple times. So we're going to be doing something more like this with our worksheets, because if we mess up, I often mess up something and I want to redo it, and then we just have to end up writing it in the like in an empty space, and it's nice to have those boxes. So I've started to make these kanji only worksheets from this lesson on. I'll probably go back and make them for the other lessons as well, for those of you who are still on those. But for the live streams, we're going to be allowing ourselves to have extra practice space. We might not fill out each and every single one every single time, but just to have the extra space, we're going to be using just the kanji on its own on our worksheets today. But yeah, what happened to inflation? Huh? Oh, I didn't even see that it's next year. I thought it was this year. I have a completely off-topic question. Do you guys know the history of the value of the yen? I've been wondering why the numerical values are so high. 1,000 yen is 10 CAD dollars, for example. I'm not really sure
あ、ど
why
うな
there's
んだろ
no
うね。
decimal points. It's always been, if you think about it, right? The yen makes more sense than having a decimal point with something called cents, like euros and dollars. We're just so used to that we've never really probably thought about it. But if you think about it, just having a single currency name, 1 yen, up to 1,000 yen, makes more sense, right? If you think of 10 yen as 10 cents, and then $1 as 100 yen, it becomes less weird. It's just the fact that let's just use one counter for all the money instead of two counters like we have in English. And I think that's basically it. By the way, what is the name for the equivalent to cents? There isn't one. I mean, well, technically, I guess there is like a 1 point. There's a 0.5 yen like value in like data, but there are no 0.5 yen pieces. What there's a name for that though.
1000
Sen だよね。
yen 円の下は
Yeah.
あ、円じゃなかった。1円の下が
Is sen
1000
ね。So yeah. So
そうだから1銭
right.
2銭
Isen, nisen. But there's no like coins for that. There's no like that's not an actual unit of money that you can use to purchase things. The smallest unit of money that we actually use in day-to-day life is yen. So that's probably why. Yeah, Japanese doesn't like too many counters. I know. There are a lot of counters in Japanese. But if you think about it, and I like to emphasize this, I don't think there's any less in English. Like, I don't think there are any less counters in English than there are in Japanese. Now, someone can try to prove me wrong on this, but I bet you if we did the math, they'd be either the same or Japanese might even have less. I'm not really sure. But if you think about it, like heads of cows, or head of cows. Is that how it is in English? I believe it is. Heads of whatever.
Cows. まあ
Heads of lettuce. Heads of
cabbage
lettuce.
あ
Heads of lettuce. There's sheets of paper. 1 sheet, 2 sheet, 3 sheets. There's cents. There's dollars. There's what murder of crows.
ワンスティックと言わないの
We don't say 1 stick of pens. 1 packet of pens. You know, little things like that. Maybe there's more in Japanese, but I still think there's plenty in English.
あ
There may have been
スティックはね
a very, very long time ago proof. I'm not really sure on that. So no, I don't know the complete history. But I mean, the reason why it's 1,000 is just because 1 yen is 1 cent. Some countries have smaller basic monetary units and inflation happens at different rates. Inflation has been pretty much stagnant in Japan. I mean, they reduced the amount of things in packages to make it look like prices haven't gone up, to be fair. But salaries and prices have technically not gone up in like 30 years. Like inflation is almost non-existent. If you look at the value of a million yen 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and a million yen now, it's almost like it hasn't changed. Whereas in America, I think it's like $1 million 20 years ago is like $3 or $4 million now or something like that. So yeah, that's one interesting thing. Aren't there
まあ
like 30 plus, 300 plus counters, but we'll really see like 30 of them mostly? Maybe something like that. But I mean, in English, if you think of certain things that we don't think of as counters, there's a lot as well. A peck of pickled peppers. Yeah, there's a peck of pickled peppers.
それパックじゃないんだよね。ペックなんだよね。
Yeah, a peck of pickled peppers. Remember when we used to have Yuki do tongue twisters? When,
もう
was
や
that a
ばい
thing
や
during
つ
the...
そ
I
うだ
forgot
よ
about
ね。や
that.
ばいよ、それ。
People
思
used
い
to
出
send
させ
super
る。
chats and she would have to do tongue twisters. I completely forgot about that.
私は still remember.
That was good. All right. All right. So, yeah. So, our worksheets are going to be a little bit different today.
あ、まあ、そのさ、私もインフレーションのことに対してちょっと
はい
言いたいんですけど、
Hi.
その日本今お安いじゃないですか。日本人さん勝手にさ安くなったから、勝手に生きてるだけで勝手に貧乏だから、みんな生きてるだけでこのなんか世界がこうインフレーション上がってる間に勝手に日本下がって大セール中今。
Ah, yeah, yeah. The price of the yen is super cheap. So, Japan just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper for people around the world due to
そう
inflation. I see.
だ
Yeah,
から
yeah.
ね、遊びに行きやすいと思いますみ
Ah,
んな。
yes. It's very cheap to come hang out in
来て
Japan.
ね。
Although the flights have not changed or gone down in price.
あ、
At all.
そう、
But-
そこは
but when
ね、
you
ちょっ
get
と
here-
ワールドワイドなんていうの、ウェイズだよね。
Mm.
そうそう。だけど、なんか日本の中に来たら、もうすべてが大セール。
Of course, of course. If you can get here, ne?
そう。
I'm busy working, so I can't participate, but I did get my calligraphy pens today. The
Hi.
one Yuki recommended a while back. Nice.
これです。
I got one too. This. That's why Japan feels so inexpensive. I think it's because inflation hasn't stopped in the West, but it has in Japan. Maybe something like that, yeah. And the value of the yen has just gone down compared to the rest of the world. I'm taking a calligraphy class in August, and the kuretake calligraphy set showed up from Japan, like brushes and an inkstone and everything.
so.
Wow, nice. Pro tip, it's often cheaper to fly into Korea and then flying to Japan than flying directly. Ooh, that's interesting. I'll have to-
そう。
うん
あ、ちなみに私は I prefer 栗竹じゃなかった、くれ竹。
She prefers those kind than this kind.
そうそう、これね。うん
That's just much harder.
そう、これの方がもうちょっとブラシ。
It's more like a real brush. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
うん。
Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the first part of our skit today and see what our first word is going to be.
もう外に出る 出口。
All right, that was fast.
は
Our
い。
first word today is going to be, excuse me, deru.
はい。
Deru, which means to exit or to leave a place. Deru. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can write this kanji correctly.
もう私で言った方がいい？
何が？
言わなくていい。出るって今までさ言ってたじゃないですか。
はい
だけどもこのスキットを私がここで読むのはなし。
読んでもいいよ。
もう外に出るってやつ。
もう外に出る。あ、でも読まなくて、スキット出してるから、
あ、
読まなくていいかもね。
は
はいい、
わかりました。
Alright, so let's see if I got the first stroke correct. Let's see what Yuki says. Is that correct?
はい。
Hi. Okay. So
Hi.
I got the first stroke correct. So for some of you who
合
who don't know this yet, we haven't done mountain yet.
うんうん。
But deru is apparently not two mountains stacked up on top of each other. It's not, and that's a disappointing thing because that sure is what it looks like. Got my bow there.
うん。いい。
I got my balance off, but
だけどすごいいい。
Oh,
上手。
good.
うん。
Yay!
めっちゃいい感じ。
All of the lessons that have led up today have been helpful. Yay!
最近ね、ほんとアンディね、上手に書けるようになって、全然クリティックがない。
やったー
やばい。このゴジラの仕事ない。
Unfortunately, when I'm writing really fast, yesterday we went to a place where you have to write down what you want. Like they have a menu and they have all the things out in front and you write down which things you want on a piece of paper. When you have to write these things fast, they don't look that good.
あーはい、じゃあ書いていきます。
Right. Ooh. Okay, yours is a bit taller than mine. A little bit taller than mine.
ちょっと ちょっとふにゃふにゃになっちゃったね。
ちょっとふにゃふにゃになったね。My straight line was pretty straight. Woo!
あれちょっとふにゃってるし、ちょっと滑っちゃったな。
Welcome, Pedro. Cheers from Japan. 超難しいねやつ、そのペン。
もう一回書く、
あ、ユキはあ、いいよ。
こ
Oh,
のフ
oh,
ァー
right.
スト
We did mountain last
フ
year.
ァーストストロークのせ、なんかふにゃふにゃするこれ。ちょっとトゥースリッパリーかな、この
Too slippery?
このホワイトボードがあれ前回さクリーニングしたじゃん。
ああ、はいはいはい。
だからめっちゃなんかオイリーなのかトゥースリッパリーかはちょっとわかんないですけど、言い訳だよねこれ。
言い訳だ。
言い訳。はい。あ、なんか右側がうまく書いてない。
Oh, nice straight line though.
だけどこっちがちょっとトゥーショートだったかな。
I don't think there's much I need to worry about on this one, eh?
アンディのやつの方がなんかlooks better なんですけど。ついに
It's the first time.
ついにゴジラさ、
It's
ね
the first
食リスト
time.
ラこれ。
There's nothing for Yuki
やば
to
い
destroy. Woo!
これ
That's gonna be the
ユ
new
キさん
song. Oh, I
これ
always thought the vertical line was the third stroke. You would think that, right? Because you would think it would be like this, right? You'd think like that. But nope. It's the first one.
ユキジラなんかやばいファイヤーされそう。
全然 fire しない
ユ
よ。
キジラに優しい職場だねこれは。はいできたよ。できたついに
いいね。
かなりいい感じにできた。
Oh, my line is way too far out. Hi. Anyway, that worked out. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what Yuki's got for us in her worksheet.
はい。
ちょっとズームアウトしなくていいや。
あ、
大丈夫
しなくていい？
出た。あ、出た出た出たね。出た。
こんな感じかな。
I was trying to draw it from memory and did the same thing. Yeah. That feels natural, right? Doing that as the third stroke. That's why I had to look over at her and be like, is this the correct first stroke? Because
こっちで書くか。
I'm not sure.
こっちで書いてみよ
お願いし。Oh, she's gonna write with the really
う。こ
fancy one.
のクレタケ。
やべえ。I don't have one of those, so. I've got the beginner's one. That's pretty. Woo! Too flat?
うん、トゥーローだったから。
あー
始めたのが
そっかそっか。
ということで次
Oh, so she's gonna write the next one because the second one was too low. Ooh. There's a remembering the Kanji Anki deck that shows correct stroke order and has links to user voted stories. Been very helpful. Nice, nice. That can be very helpful. We also have all of the correct stroke order diagrams on our Kanji deck on the website, which many of you are using right now. For all of the words and even the
こん
hiragana
な
in
感
the
じです
words.
かね。
Nice,
ちょっと
nice.
出るあんまり私上手じゃないね。
そんなことないです。
じゃあアンディ先生の
Alright.
方を見てみたいと思います。
Let's see what we can do here. Mine's a little dark, eh? Should I turn up my light a little bit?
あ、こっちはライトついてるよ。
知ってるよ。俺のやつがちょっと暗いかな。
本当だね。はい。
Okay.
はい。
Let's see what I can do.
ふむふむ。あ、いいですね。
あ、ちょっと狭い。
あ
Hmm.
あ。はいはい
Not
は
quite,
い。
eh?
あ、でも
Need to go a little bit wider.
ーやろうとしていることはできている。
やろうとしてること、the thing I'm trying to do, I'm getting it. Okay. I can do better than that,
そ
though.
うなんかそうだね、最初のこの山みたいなこのさ、この部分
はい。
ちょっとユキのところは見えないよね。
出せます。
あ、すいません。この最初のこの部分、この、こういうお皿の部分、
はい
なんかボックスの部分はこのさ、この チュンチュンチュンチュンチュン、こ
Mm.
のボックスのこのチチチの
はい
ところのちょっと上、こ
Oh,
ういう風に
I think
上
I
に
did
来た
it.
方が
I think I got it by accident.
OK です。もう私のモニターの部分はもう消してもらって
Yeah, yeah, それはい
OK
い。
です。OK です。
So she's saying that I need to have the first mountainish
そう
part
そうそう
above.
そう。
This is also a little bit too split.
このボックスあるじゃない、
Mm.
でこうボックスあるじゃない、そしたらここがさこう出る、
Mm.
まあこのまっすぐにかければマジアイディアルなんですけど、
はい
この1回目のボックスの方はこの線より
Mm.
ここね、ここ
Right.
上に書いた方が
Mm.
いいかも。でこれをちょっと大きめに
I see,
こ
I
の
see.
書く。
So you draw the bottom one a little bit bigger than the top,
うんうん
a
うんう
little
ん
wider and taller, and the first one should be above the top line. So that's why mine looks unbalanced here because the bottom one is exactly the same size. It looks like the exact same
そうだね。
trash box part.
うんうん。
All right, let's try again. And yes, Grammy, I think that is exactly why. Oh, I got a little bit too tall there. A little bit too.
うんうんうん。
A little bit too.
だけど
But not so bad,
いい、
eh?
うんそう悪くない全然。この
I'm able to do straight lines now. I'm proud of that because I didn't used to be able to do
Nice.
straight lines. Straight lines were impossible for me before. With this pen especially. But that does not seem to be an issue anymore. So, nothing. Oh, I'm doing better without a box on this one. どうっすか？
あめっちゃいい感じです。
Wow.
めっちゃいい感じです。
Even I'm impressed by that one, and I drew it.
やばいちょっともう
うん
雪白get fired かなこれ。
All right, guys, the stream is finished. We're not doing any more of these. I'm fine now.
マ
I don't
ジ
need to do
で
kanji. I'm just
出
kidding.
るだけでしょ。
Not even close. Just deru. Just deru.
出るだけ、
Just deru.
よしちょっと
Okay.
次から頑張るわ。
All right. We're going to be seeing this kanji again in the next word. Let's see what we
Hi.
got the comments going on here. Yuki and Andy, you were planning on working on a textbook, right? We sort of have already. Like on the website are with all of our immersion section stuff and the new Anki decks. That like I basically wrote 40 pages of grammar explanations for that. And so it's basically a textbook. It's just in the form of an Anki deck. And eventually we'll have our own SRS sort of system, which will make it even more textbook-like. But maybe one day we'll do a paper textbook. We'll see. Question, why is the writing slanted towards the top right in certain fonts? Why is the writing slanted towards the top right in certain fonts? I don't know if I know what you mean. It's slanted towards the top right. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if I can imagine what you mean. Sorry, just practice typing on a physical keyboard. I finally set up the Japanese IME. I usually use my phone. Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet. Practice away. You're welcome to write out the words that we're doing in each one. It's good to have you. Have you back when you meet the fish. Good to see you. Go to Jitenan. And what was I going to say? I can't remember, so we're going to jump into the skit for the next word.
もう外に出る？ 出口はどこ？
上にあるよ. All right, so there are no new kanji for this one. So I'm not going to practice on the whiteboard. Instead, we're just going to have Yuki write it on her worksheet.
はい。
Yapa. Yuki Godzilla is what do you call that? Asetteru.
そうそう。
What is asetteru in English? Does anyone remember?
Rushing?
She's not rushing. That is one of the translations of asetteru kedo. But you're not rushing. You're
ちょっと worrying.
feeling the pressure. Feeling the pressure or something like that. 困ってるね. That's another difficult word to translate into English. 困ってる.困った. Like that usage of 困ってる. I have no idea how to translate that into English. Sweating bullets, yeah.
そうそ
やばい。
う。 そうなんだよ。はい、じゃあ書いていき
お
ま
願い
す。
します。A bit odd to say while doing calligraphy. How important is neatness when writing with pencil? I'd assume it's like English where neater is better, but also as long as people can tell what it is, it's fine. It's fine. Look up any kanji and look at the different fonts. Sweating bullets.
はい。
そこじゃないんです。
ここじゃない。
もうワークシート。もう新しい漢字がないからワークシートから言っていい。でも、but it's beautiful.
しやった。間違えた。
Obviously,
間違えちゃった。
I've talked about this on a few other streams before, but writing nicely with nice handwriting when you're writing something that someone else will have to read always gets you a bit more respect. I think in any language that's true, but especially in Japanese, people will respect you much more if they see your handwriting as nicer. Just something that happens automatically. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing is beyond the point. It's just something that happens. If you have nicer handwriting, people respect you more. And that's especially true here. Now, with that said, if your handwriting is messy, will people still be able to read what you wrote? Yeah, it'll be fine. Hi. Meanwhile.
出るっていう字あんまり得意じゃないな。
そうなの？
まずバランス、これちょっと難しい。
はい。
今マイクやってないの。はい。
Looks good to me.
私ちょっとあんまり得意じゃないね、この。
そう。I don't think I can show my desktop. Let me see. Can I show my desktop? No, I don't have my desktop set up to show on stream. Okay, there we go. Okay, so someone was asking about different fonts. Like this? Do you mean how it's pointing up towards the right? Not pointing up towards the right. What did you say? Writing slanting towards the top right. So like this, you mean? So calligraphy. So really, computer fonts are the only things that are flat like this. So your question, to answer your question, is I think it would make more sense to go backwards with that and say that kanji is generally written like this. This is just computer fonts, the flat stuff. And the reason for that is up until fairly recently, you could really only make computer fonts more straight like this. Like on screens with low resolution, you had to write them flat or they were like unintelligible. They had these zigzaggy lines, and if you had to scrunch a bunch of stuff inside of them, it wouldn't look good on like an old computer screen. If you look at like old computer fonts, if you look at like a game that has retro hiragana, if they were to slant those hiragana in weird ways, they'd be almost unintelligible. So the real answer is kanji's written slanted like this, generally speaking, a lot of the time. There's always we always talk about it here in the stream. We talk about kimochi up. Kimochi up. We talk about that all the time here. And that is and that is basically when you're writing like a horizontal line, you generally go a little bit, not that much, a little bit, like when you're writing the number 1, you're going a little bit up to the right. Everything. This is just the number 1. Every single line, if we're to go to the number 3, a little bit up to the right. And that's just, it looks cooler. Looks nicer when writing calligraphy. So everything's going a little bit up. Sometimes it will come back down. But basically every horizontal stroke, you're going a little bit up. Same, like we just did deru. You notice we went a little bit up like that, right? So generally when you're writing, that's how you're going to be writing. It's just the fonts that are different. Okay, so I think it's my turn to go ahead and write these words. If I can try. Deguchi ne. Get a few more chances with deru. How often is it really necessary to handwrite in daily life? Much more than you'd expect. Remember, I was just talking about the restaurant we went to yesterday. It's a cool little restaurant in Nagano City called what's it called again?
Mulberry Cafe.
Mulberry Cafe. Mulberry Cafe. It's a really cool little restaurant. If you're ever in Nagano, check it out. I highly recommend it. Tell them I sent you. They won't know who ToKini Andy is, but just tell them Andy sent you. They might know who he is. At least the owner knows me, sort of, although he doesn't remember my face recently. Anyway, they have, like, it looks like a deli, so they have a bunch of food, like, lined up, and then you have to choose which ones you want. And those you just write with a letter, like they're marked by a letter. But the drinks, the desserts, and a bunch of other things, you actually have to write out what it is that you want. And they're mostly listed in kanji, so you have to write it out. Yuki had to go renew her passport the other day, and she had to write a form for that. And that's all written. You're not typing that stuff out. Everything is written. So I have to write in daily life a lot. Will you have to write in daily life a lot if you're living in America and you just want to read a bunch of stuff that was never translated in English? No, you'll never have to write. But writing will help you memorize things easier. There's a bunch of research to prove that writing things down, especially kanji, helps you remember them easier. There was multiple studies done on Chinese kids that tested their memorization, like whether or not they remembered a kanji, well, Chinese character in that sense, better if they wrote it or if they didn't, if they just learned it through rote memorization otherwise. And every single research paper found that the kids who wrote the kanji learned them better. So I think that's a good enough reason.
Hi.
It was okay. So that's the answer to that. There was a bunch of other questions. I will get to you in a moment. Should this be wider?
そうだね、ちょっと
A
だ
little
け
bit wider. Yeah.
で
Okay.
もいいですよ、書き順は合っているので。
Arigato. Then another question was Zaharia. Sorry, I didn't get to your question very fast. I was wondering if you have any experience with Japanese language schools. I have zero experience with Japanese language schools, unfortunately. People ask me about them a lot and if I have any recommendations. I don't have any. Be careful. Make sure you read reviews. A lot of reviews if you can. Because I've heard horror stories of some, and then I've heard great things about others. Nice.
Mm, いい。
My mouth could still be a little wider, eh?
だけど、いい。
Not so bad?
かなり、いい感じです。
Are you guys writing along with us today? That's the purpose of these live streams, right? So you can fix your writing as I fix mine.
この口を書く1画目をちょっとだけ短く
なるほど。
した方が
はいはい。
いい。そうすればここに気持ちアップしていっても、そこまで通るにならない。こういう風に。
Okay, this one is my worst one so far. I've stuck at the bottom too.
まあそういう時もあります。
ね。
この出るっていう感じ、簡単に見えるけど
It's tough, yeah.
すんごいバランス取るのが難しい。
It looks really easy. It's difficult to balance.
そう。
But I'm pretty happy with mine, especially this one. Like if I'm careful and write it, I think it'll be okay. A couple more questions. I saw some early Japanese computers at the Vintage Computer Conference here, and I don't know how anybody read kanji bitmap fonts. They're tough. I played many, many years ago. I played on live stream. What was the game? Undertale? And it was in Japanese, and it was only in hiragana. There was no kanji. And I was having a hard time reading the hiragana. Nowadays, it probably wouldn't be so bad because I've had some experience with old computer, retro-style computer fonts, so I got used to it. But when I first started, I could barely read the hiragana and katakana with those crazy retro fonts. I just thought it was interesting because it looks a lot nicer, but I was wondering if that's it. Yep. Okay, I need credits for college, so I thought I'd take Japanese since I'm learning it for fun, and extra practice is good. The only problem is the class is handwritten. I haven't done any writing. Definitely worth practicing. I couldn't be here on time. What did I miss? You just missed deru and deguchi, and that's about it.
Hi.
And the first quiz. Mulberry kanji.
そう、モーベリーはクワだよね。クワ。
You missed the... okay. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, let's jump into the next part of the skit.
もう外に出る？出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。All right, so our next word is 上。
はい。
上。And that is, it's also an interesting kanji. I always forget the first stroke in this one. I always forget if it's the first line or the second line. I always forget if it's that or if it's this.
はい。じゃあ書いてみてください。
I can't remember
つ
actually.
いに私仕事が来たような気がします。雪白は ready to work です。
Where to go? I feel like it's gotta be this. But I want to write it like this, so I'm going to write it like this. Ah! ダメだ。はい。Godzilla Yuki. Tell me what happened. Oh, I was good? I was good?
ストロークオーダーは good。
Okay、よかった。
なんか、雪白ちょっと暇だね。
That's because you're too good of a teacher.
上手。
I take your
素晴ら
lessons
しい。
and I take everything you've taught me into
素晴
account.
らしい。これね、じゃあ書いていきます、ね。
はい、お願いします。Woo! Look at how straight her first line is. Oh my goodness.
ここのアンディのここの最初の入りも結構良い感じにできてるし、
ありがとうございます。
そう、ここもちゃんと気持ちアップしてるし、そう、ここも気持ちアップからのこのキュインってダウンしてるし、かなりいい感じです。
ありがとうございます。
もう上手。
ありがとう。
もう雪白ね、やばい、もうここ仕事ないね、雪白。
But let's go ahead and see your worksheet of UE first. I think you'll have plenty of work to do there. I'll have plenty of work to do there.
はい。
What are you guys struggling with the most for those of you who are practicing writing? Interestingly, I know a couple of you are using like an iPad to write on. Some of you are using the pens like we're using. What are you struggling with on these kanji in particular?
How do you write 店、点、締めって書いてあるんですけど。
I'm assuming you mean that part, the third one, 締める。
ちょっと待ってね。
But yes, it's the same as it's the same. The first two strokes are the same as above, but the bottom is a mouth part. It's not above. Like this is it's correct. But the parts are actually like this is a different part.
こうだな。
Right? This is in ue.
あ、まあね。
But technically this is the we learned this part as a what do we call this? A divination rod or something? Something like that.
これは書かないね。やっぱりこうだよね。
So because you can't write that. Like that's not how boxes are written.
はい。
So the first two strokes are absolutely like that, but then
ユキはユキ
you
と
write a mouth.
確認いたしました。今ユキ。
I'm struggling with horrible handwriting in any language. Me too, man. iPad plus ZenBrush 3 proportions and straightness, and I'm trying to do the line starts and ending. I got to get that ZenBrush 3 for my iPad. Sorry, I know how to write them. I just wanted to point out how they were all the same. Ah, I see. I thought you were asking.
合ってるよね。ちょっと不安になるから確認した方がいいこれ。
合ってる。Hi, this stream was randomly suggested to me, so here I am. こんばんは lovelessly yayaoi. Welcome. I hope you'll find it interesting. Thanks YouTube for recommending us. Writing on non-paper feels hard to balance with a lack of friction, even using the paper screen protector, but you get to just reverse out your mistakes quickly. If I wouldn't go through the reams of paper. Yeah, that's the one nice thing about a digital, eh? I struggle with the balance of going radical. Oh, yeah. That's normal. We'll get there. That was defining right, yeah. All right, let's see what Yuki's worksheet version of ue looks like. Handwriting is hard proof. I'm studying for N1, but just printed out some kana handwriting worksheets because I felt like my handwriting was so terrible. Welcome to stream, Eli. Yeah, Yuki and I were just talking about actually how one of the worst things about the JLPT is that you don't have to write any kanji at all. Like even one. Even on the M1. That's kind of wild if you think about it. Like you don't have to speak at all. You don't have to write at all. Nothing. No freestyle stuff. Okay. I think I can do that. I think I can do that. Let's see. I should sit properly.
でもTOEIC も書かなかったと思うんだけど
Nothing on
ね。
TOEIC?
マ
Okay.
ークシートじゃなかったかな。
On Aiken, there is writing,
そう
I
そう
believe. And there's
writing
also a
section
speaking
が
test.
そうそうがある。
Will there be a VOD of this? There always is. We always leave the VOD up. Then you go a little bit above the line, eh?
そうで気持ちアップねそ
I
こは。
think I went too far down on my first line. Yeah. Maybe there. And I probably should start a little bit more off to the left.
さ
Hmm.
これちょっと待ってね。ちょっとティップというかこのボックスまたボックスが出るんですけどここに、
はい。
こうチッチッチッチッチッチッでしょチッチッチ
はい
ッチッチッでなんかこのスタートするのが、この辺から
はい。
この辺からスタートしたいじゃないですか、でここら辺からスタートしてまあこの上から来たらもしこの辺からスタートしてこうやって書いたら結構上になるじゃん、そういう場合はここよりこの真ん中より上から始めた方が、このバランスが最終的なバランスが良くなる。だけどこのさもしちょっとこれをもう一回消してこれをさもしチッチッチッチッチッチッってきて、このちょっと下の方からこうやって始めちゃった場合、この下の方から始めちゃった場合、この真ん中ら辺からでもちょっと上に書いとけば、このバランスはそんなに悪くない。
Gotcha.
わかる?
Yep. Okay. So basically she's saying you want to start like where she has the circled part, but if you start below it, then go a little bit lower on your second stroke, and if you start a little bit higher, go a little bit higher on your second stroke, and the balance should show up okay. Now, I think I was starting a bit too far to the right on the bottom part. Maybe this one was probably okay, but I should have gone lower on my second stroke. So that's where my balance got messed up. Let's see if I can do the final one a little bit better.
あとアンディのやつはもうちょっとこの2番目のストロークを下から書いてもいいかな。
俺も今そう言いました。
はい。そこだけですね。いい。
My kimochi up was ruined.
大丈夫だよ。大丈夫。結構ここから見ると、意外に気持ちアップしていますもう。いい。
Okay.
いい。
Not so bad.
いい感じ。ただちょっと最後のこの1は、ペンを離す前にちょっと止める。
そうだね。I should have stopped here ね。
そう。ちょっと止めた方がその最後終わりっていう感じがあっていいですね。そう。ちょっと止める。はい。で、ちょっとこっちも止める。
はい。
いい。
I see.
素晴らしい。
Okay.
上手。
Nice. questions. Andy, what's the grammar book you talk about during your Genki lessons? I think you can only get it used. I've meant to buy it for a while, but I always forget until you mention it, and then I forget. I think you can still get it new. I think I'm usually talking about the Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar. The Dictionary of Japanese Grammar created by the Japan Times. I don't really use it anymore, but I did like it when I was getting started, and a lot of people do like it. That's probably what I was talking about. I found that I'm only writing kanji, but almost never hiragana. Not sure how much it should be practiced specifically between grammar vocabulary. I mean, I write hiragana a lot, but that's me. Just like the story I told yesterday, there was hiragana and kanji and everything I had to write yesterday. So and when I'm filling out forms, you know, when you have to write your name and stuff, and when you're writing your address, there's hiragana, there's katakana, there's all these other things. I have to write everything all the time. So it's worth practicing everything. Poof. Oh, you just made me think of something. I don't understand phrases like Andy, teki. How do they work? Teki is like ish, or Andy, as for Andy or something like that, or Andy in terms of Andy or something like that.
So,
like
なんか teki turns into adjective.
It turns it into an adjective, yeah. It turns it into an adjective. Is it an adjective? Yeah, I think so.
So, adjective 的なだからな adjective
turns it
に
into
変え
an
られる
adjective. Turns nouns into an adjectives. I just bought 3 farce. That's the same reason I had to print out kind of worksheets. Yes, that was it. Thank you. Sorry, I feel like I keep talking off topic. Oh god.
あ、すごい
I still might not
レイジェントさんネスって書いてある
Not only do they not reference the dictionary, despite being the same publisher, they have different explanations a lot of the times. It's silly. So it's Andy-ness. Yeah, something like that. Ness. Ness is something like that. Yeah, very good. All right, so that's it. Let's go ahead and see what's next.
もう外に出る出口はどこ
上にあるよ
あれない
いやこの下だよAlright, so our next word is shita. Shita. And it's basically just a flipped over ue, but I imagine the lines are a little bit different. And the stroke order is a little bit different. Let's see if I can mess this one up. Same thing for this one. Obviously, this is the first stroke, eh? Now, I want to write it like this. I believe that's correct. A little bit angled to the right, eh? A little bit too angled to the right.
まあいいですよ
And then this is gonna be down like that. I'm
はい
assuming.
はいよく書けています上手
ありがとう But
はいじゃあユキちょっと見せて何が違うか、結構オビアスでわかると思うので
I just turned off all the lights.
あ私のライトが
Yuki no light も
私のライトもオフ
はいすいません、
ありがとうございます
yeah, okay.
でここまではいいでしょ、この辺から
Oh
こう
Oh wow, okay. Oh yeah, that does look better. Oh, all our papers just went flying. Doors are slamming. What door is slamming? Oh my goodness. Nice wind.
はいこういう感じですね
I see.
そう、
Okay.
ここがもう
I'm
少
gonna start up
し
higher.
上から
All 3 lines intersecting. Interesting. ちょっと上の辺から。そうそうそうそう。
ちょっと上の辺からねそうそうそう、ちょっと上の辺から
Alright, I also noticed you didn't come down, obviously. So you're just doing a full-on kimochi up. Probably not that much, but it's fine.
いいです素晴らしいですはいいいですねいい上手
And then up here, eh?
はいとっても上手ですねいい感じ
ありがとう
そういい感じ
いい感じそうそうそうそう
みんなが思ういい感じです
ありがとうございます
そう
はい OK
はい
That's fine
じゃあもう下もできるようになっちゃったんで
いいねじゃあワークシートタイム
ですね
ありがとうございます
はい まだ的なのアンディネスさんのちょっと質問がございますので、
ありました
そちらちょっと詳しく。
どういうこと？
そう多分ねセンスがちょっとあれだよね。
A little bit different.
イッシュって感じの方が近いような気がするんだよね。
場合によるね。But not Andiness. Like Andy teki ni wa would be more like, you wouldn't just have Andy teki. You would have Andy teki ni. You wouldn't say Andy either. Andy teki ni wa dou omoimasu ka? So
そう
in terms of Andy, if you're using a name, it's a little bit different, right? In terms of Andy, or as for Andy, what does he think? Or in terms of you, in your, yeah, in terms of you. But with other nouns, it's a little bit more obvious. Like, and if a lot of times you can find words with teki in them in the dictionary, like on their own, like rakkan teki, for example, would be optimistic. Rakkan would be like a feeling of relaxed, being relaxed. That would be the noun for the feeling. But then with teki, it becomes an adjective, explaining that feeling of optimistic. So that's how it's usually used with regular nouns. But with names, it's a little bit weird, as in, like, in terms of you, what do you think? Or in terms of you, how is this problem going to affect you? Things like that. Andi teki ni wa, so ippan teki. Ippan is just regular, like normal. And then ippan teki it's also normal, but it makes it an adjective, which just ippan is not. So it's a little grammatical tool to allow you to use words in different ways than you would just use the nouns. But a lot of these words are so common now with the teki that you can find them in the dictionary with teki attached. I didn't get to watch Yuki's thingy, but okay, it's the same as we wrote it a moment ago. Let's see if I can pull it off. That doesn't help. I want to try and get my my paper to be as white as yours, but I can't. Oh well. Hi. Let's go. A little bit up.
It just sounds so strange って書いてあるよ with name.
Yeah, of course. But that's because you're translating it into English. And pretty much no Japanese, after you get past like Genki Lesson 5, makes any sense if you translate it into English.
Hi.
どう？
とってもいい感じです。
ありがとう。
ねえ、もうさ、アンディさ、本当なんか直すとこないね。どうするんだこれ。
Maybe I should start writing with pen, regular pen, because
regular pen?
I'm actually really bad at regular pen, but I'm getting good at this marker.
そう、このね、マーカーで書くとすごい上手。うん、いい。
Yeah, I
いい
think
で
that's
す。
fine. Wow.
うん。素晴らし
Does
い。
anyone here know if Boompro is good? I like how I'm seeing new grammar points, but I'm not a fan of the review format. I have mixed feelings of Boompro. I think a lot of people really like how they do tracking and stuff like that, but it seems like most of their sentences are just like crowdsourced or pulled off of like public lists, and they often have lots and lots of very difficult sentences that aren't really level appropriate for the grammar that they're teaching. But other than that, it seems to be quite good. I don't know much about it. Yeah, when I translate Japanese in my head, I sound like Yoda to try and make it make sense. Yeah, basically.
よかったよだいて本当。
ね。
よだ
Hopefully
いて
the thing
よ
we're
かった。
we're working on making right now, can address all of the issues that I have with Boompro for our own students. But we'll see. Hi, jumping over to the
は
skit.
い。もう外に出る？出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれない。
いや、この下だよ。
すごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ。
Okay, so there's no new kanji here. It's just the word doka. And technically, do does have a a new kanji, but it's a much, much more advanced kanji that we're not going to be doing today. So we just have that written in hiragana because we needed the reading for ka, for N5, and for Q, 10, the level 10 of the native kanji test. So the reading of the ta here will just be ka. So it's going to be exactly the same as the last kanji we covered. So nothing special to practice here. I'm just going to go ahead and write it along with Yuki at the same time.
Hi.
I found that translating into Spanish is easier. It's almost the exact same, but backwards. Interesting. That means corridor, right? It does indeed mean corridor or hallway. I'm happy with my shita.
はい。
Maybe a little bit less angled.
なんかこれが超にじんでるように見えちゃうね。
何のよ？
この呉竹のペンだとにじんでるみたいに見えるなぁと思って細いところ。
Not so much from here. Not on my screen.
あら、ユキすごいもう大ラングエッジスピーカーじゃないですか。そういえばさ、さっきさ、関係についてどう思いますかっていう質問
Did someone
来て
ask?
たよね。
関係についてどう思いますか? Did someone ask that?
私たちが関係についてどう思いますかって聞いてたと
Who
思
asked
う。
that and when?
I don't know. I don't remember, but もっと earlier だったと思う。
You two are just like two characters from He's like writing Japanese is an art form. It is. Calligraphy is an art form in any language, I think. We're basically doing calligraphy. Like, I don't write this carefully every time I'm writing in Japanese, but practicing calligraphy makes the rest of your writing look nicer too over time, theoretically, right? I'm looking for the comment about kanken. I can't find it, but I think kanken is great. I studied for kanken up to level 4, and a friend of mine's been taking it recently, using video games, using the Switch game for learning the kanken to practice, and it's better than the JLPT as far as for kanji because you actually have to learn how to write them all. The test tests your knowledge of kanji, basically the parts of it and how to write it, whether you can write it correctly. It teaches you lots and lots of vocabulary that you probably won't run into otherwise. I think it's great. That's why we teach this kanji series as a combination of the JLPT and the kanken. Does Yuki speak Spanish too? No. Well, maybe a couple words. A couple words. 妻は日本語の初心者なのでこのビデオを見せたいです。本当に役に立ちそうです。ありがとうございます。イライさん。I'm glad to hear that. 廊下 looks like this in the back half of RTK. Haven't even seen the one yet midway through. The squiggly bee is interesting, and I feel like I see it in a lot of kanji. The squiggly bee will actually show up in N4. We're covering a bunch of words that have that in it. That's sort of the issue with RTK. It'll take you 6 months to finish it if you do 20 kanji a day. You won't know how to read anything, and you won't have run into a lot of the kanji that you need early on until way later in the book. So that is one issue with RTK, but I did it, and it was helpful. It's just one of the things you have to be aware of when going through it. I'm studying for kanken right now too. It's really fun. I learn a lot of new words from it. Yeah, I think it's great. What was the sentence that used this? Will we hear it again? You will indeed. Here comes the skit.
もう外に出る？出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれ、ない。
いや、この下だよ。
すごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ、この島の人口は何人
？16人だよ。
あれ。
All right. So, the next word is jinko, but there are no new kanji. We've already practiced both person and mouth. many, many times.
はい。
So we're going to go ahead and have Yuki write out jinko on her worksheet for us, and so we can practice along with that. 書道をいつか習いたいです。いいよね。I'm glad that I'm doing it now. These streams have been a great excuse for me to learn how to write kanji nicely. Thanks to Yuki, I'm doing okay. I gotta watch her do that so I can remember how to write it correctly. If you wanted a job in Japan, would companies take the test instead of JLPT for foreigners? I mean, nice.
どうでしょうか。
You could put, you could and you should put the kanken on your resume. But with that said, the kanken does not necessarily, it doesn't test like grammar. There's not necessarily any sentences. There are usually some sentences, right? But it's not going to test you on the sentences. It's just going to test you on whether or not you know the single word or the kanji within the sentence. So it's not a replacement for the JLPT. It's sort of it's more so covering gaps that the JLPT has. So it probably wouldn't get you past having to take the JLPT if a job requires it, unless you were like really high level on the kanken. If you were able to say like you passed NIQ or EQ or something like that, then maybe the answer would be different. But Andy, Yuki, do you have any further advice for daily speaking practice? I've completed Genki 1, but I'm going back to your textbook practice videos to help with speaking. Is there a better activity? I think shadowing is your best bet. Shadowing and ideally maybe recording yourself to make sure you're getting the practice you need. If you're on the website, you are on the website, I believe, because you're doing our textbook practice videos. If you go to the section of the website that is it's Genki 1 divided by sections. It's all the same content, but we have some extra challenges there, and we have shadowing challenges for the Genki 1 lessons. So you can record yourself shadowing sentences from our bonus grammar sentences videos, and then we can correct your pronunciation on those if you're interested. First time here, sorry if this has been asked. Any thoughts on the Renshu website? I've never opened it. I have no idea. I've heard of it, but I've never looked at it, so I have no opinion. If you're a member of the site, they have shadowing and bonus grammar videos that are excellent. Yeah. I'm so happy y'all are still teaching. I studied with you all years ago. Welcome to the stream, Small.
ありがとうございます。
All right, so I'm going to try Jinko out as well. Ooh, your second one is fancy.
くれたけペンに
Oh,
変
use
え
the
ま
different
した。
pen now. Okay, okay. So let's see if I can still do this one.
そう、多分誰かくれたけペンで書いてるからね。
Oh, is that Harai?
はい、
Hi.
払いです。
Tsunda.
はい。
A little bit too far to the right, eh?
いいよ。いいです。口の方がいい。そして人もその書き方は合ってると思う。
I've still got to practice this.
そうだね。そう、右払いだね。ここがこういう風に左払ったら、この真ん中あたりから一回来て、結構しっかりこのね、ここなんていうの、ここまでをしっかりその筆を強く押して。
Yeah, we practiced this a week or two ago, and I think I sort of got it down. Let's see if I can pull it off on this last one.
そう強く押してここをね、なるべくこの部分が一番太くなるみたいな感じ。
Oh, that was terrible, but
いいよ。
Yeah, that was terrible. Oh my god.
でもそんな感じ。や やりたいことはできている。
できていねえだろう、どう考えても。
やろうとしているところがわかる。はいはいはいはいはい。
There we go.
結構いい感じになってきました。
That got messy.
うん
It's like I'm getting worse as the lesson goes along.
いや、そんなことはないです。はいはいはい。いいよ。うんうんうん。はい。
はい。
いい感じです。かな
Okay,
り
that
い
was
い。
better.
うん。かなり上手。
Jinko, by the way, is population.
はい。
Hey, studying Japanese is becoming an addiction. Is that bad? No, it's very good. Very good. I just finished Genki 2. Finished because now I have to practice lesson 22 and 23. Jinko is population, right? Yeah. Okay. I answered that in good timing without even seeing your question. Okay, the next kanji is pretty hard. Let's go ahead and see.
もう外に出る？出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれ？ない。
いや、この下だよ。
すごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ、この島の人口は何人
？16人だよ。
あれ、アンディ、手に何を持っているの？
ドーナツだよ。
一口ください。
Alright. The next word is hand.
はい。
And I'm going to try it.
うん。
And I think Yuki's going to have to do some work on this one. We'll see. Alright. At least I'm pretty confident of the stroke order.
いいですね。
Yeah, I have no idea here. I don't know. Is this one's supposed to be longer, eh?
ふんふんふんふん。
Maybe?
いい。
いいの？
上手。
え？
うん、結構いいよ。
Really?
うん、結構いい。
Okay.
まあ、すっごいちょっとピッキーでいくと、
はい。
ちょっと私のやつ書いてみたいと思います。まずね。その後ちょっと説明します。
My tail looks like a squashed cut up banana. Okay, so you're a little bit closer together and everything. Your top stroke is a little bit straighter.
ここの長さ、
もっと長いんだ。
そうはちょっとだけ長くした方がかっこいい。
Okay, so it's cooler to make it longer. The top can be scrunched up a little bit more. Okay.
アンディはちょっと短いかな。ここがちょっと伸びすぎてるって感じがするかな。
わかりました。
でも結構いい感じにはかけてみると思います。ストロークオーダーもいいですし、あとはバランスのみ。
はい。Then you're probably going right out to here, eh?
いいね。
And then you're not going too far down.
はいはい
A little
は
bit
いはい。
longer.
いいですいいです。
And then you're gonna come a little bit angled out here and then longer.
はいはいはいはいはい。いい。
みたいな。
いい感じ。
Okay.
もう。You got
いい
the
ね。
point.
Okay.
はい。
There was less to that than I expected. Okay, so I know a lot of people are saying this one's difficult and the natural bend is tough. Yeah, this is definitely tough because everything we've been doing from the beginning has been nice straight lines like that. So you basically, what I'm gathering here is just you want to start your stroke. You know, like when I know you guys, I don't know if you guys have been able to do it yet, but you'll see me start like an entry. So I'm just going to give you how I did it. Yuki might have better tips, but usually when you have like an entry for a straight line, you kind of come like out like that a little bit and then you go straight down. But what I did on my te is I just kept going in the entry line. So I just like kept going at that angle. Then I came back around the middle and whoop,
そう。
slice it up.
同じ同
Something like
じ。
that. And that's, she says she does the same thing.
うん。
So if you can get that entry down where you just come over a little bit like that and then go down in a straight line, if you can get that part down, which has taken me, 11 lessons. So 11 hours of practice going through all these
で
lessons
も上手。
to get this kind of thing down. If you can get that entry down and then just keep going in the natural arc, it becomes
うん。
not as difficult as it
で
as
も
it seems like.
言
But
っ
I
てる
know
こと合ってると思う。
I've always been terrible at te until today. And that's probably because of all Yuki's good lessons during these lessons that I've been able to sort of figure
はい。
this out.
いいですね。
Okay. Sweet. Had no faith, but was actually 上手。ありがとうございます。
ねえ。
ありがとうございます。
ほんと、アンディ最近すぐできるようになるからね。ほんと、雪じら仕事少なくて。
Yeah, we might have to come up with something different for these lessons. No. I said there's going to be plenty of kanji that I struggle with. Arigatou gozaimasu, Yilin-san. Far says, Andy Yuki, did you happen to catch a video that went viral yesterday of a young guy interviewing locals in Japan? An Oji-san invited him back to his house within about 30 seconds. It was very endearing. No, I didn't. なんかビデオがあった。マイク、ユキの頭の後ろにあるから。
そうそう。
聞こえないんだ。
へー。ちょっと知りませんでした。その。
I don't usually get those kind of recommendations. I watch very, very different stuff in general. So I never really watched the street interviews too often. Yuki has watched a few, I think, but not that
まあ
one.
たまにね。
But yesterday or the day before was our day off, which we've finally been taking after many, many years of no days off, basically. So I basically turn off all tech. I don't watch any videos, generally speaking. I'll read. I've been reading The Lord of the Rings in Japanese. That's been really fun. You got Loopy. Oh, your second line is down below there, though. Okay, but you come back up to the center. Interesting. Okay, this might be tougher. Ooh. Okay.
はい、マイクを忘れてしまいました。そう、なんとなくここの部分はできるだけここね、手の下のところは大きく、そうできるだけ大きく取れれば結構バランスがよくかっこよく見えるかなとは思います。
わかりました。なんとか
はい、ちょっとなんとかやってみてください。
はい。I'll get to your question, Hunter, and a few other people. Interviewing Japanese people until I'm fluent in Japanese. I like it. A friend of mine actually wanted to do an interview video with me on my channel, but we never got around to it. So you're starting the first stroke like right around the middle, eh?
あ、そうですね。そう。
So that's something I wasn't expecting.
あ、本当どこでもいいんだけどね、一応。
そうなんだ。
その最後のなんていうのルーピーストロークに、つなげられれば別にどこからでも大丈夫です。
Okay, my loop is already gonna be a bit too short.
あ、でもいい感じ。いいよ。
Okay.
うん。
Not too shabby. Is the stream frozen? Or no, I'm just writing. I'm still writing on the stream. All good. Okay, one more time.
そのすっごい細かいところでいくと、
細かいことはお願いします。
ちょっと待ってね。
はい。
私のこの手っていうところ、ここのところがちょっとアンディより多分狭い。ここが。
なるほどね。
そう。ここがこのちょっとここを狭くすることで、
はい。
この下の部分が、
そう、
こっちに来れるスペースが取れる。
Gotcha. See if I can pull that off.
いいですね。いい。素晴らしい。うん。いい。いいと思うんですけど。
Okay, a little bit fat on the top, eh?
そう
No?
まあでも、うん。練習してみてもらって。
ちょっとダメだな。
そう結構いいと思うんだけど、
そ
2番目のストロークをもうちょっと長
Little
く
bit
した方、そう、
はいはいはい。
長くね、
うん
すると結構バランスは良いと思うんですけど。はいはいはい、いいね。このストローク OK でしょ。次もうちょっと左からかければ。
間違えた
そうそうそう、そこがね。
and then my
あ、
first
でも
stroke went.
いいよいいよ、いい感じ。
Okay.
いい。
ま
大丈夫。全員読めるし、
はい
結構綺麗に書けてるんですよ、もうすでに。
ありがと
そうだからすごいすっごい細かいところになってるので今
う。ありがとうございます。Okay.
全体的にはとてもよく書けています。
よかったです。To answer some questions, let's see, we had some questions. My problem is that I do a lot of reading, listening, but not enough output. While The Lord of the Rings is a project in English, I finally read it through 1 week when I was sickened for 5 days straight. I've read The Lord of the Rings in English twice. First time I was 12 years old, second time I was 16 years old. And I read The Fellowship of the Ring a third time a year or two ago in English. And I started it in Japanese finally. Recently I got tired of ReZero. So I picked up Lord of the Rings to see if it was easier than it was few years ago when I tried to do it, and it's much easier now than it was then. But it's still, there's a lot of very difficult vocabulary because it was translated in 1973 or 2? 1972. So there's a lot of weird, to me at least. Well, Yuki as well, I think, was like, I've never seen that word before. I've never seen that kanji. They're using that kanji for that word? Fortunately, on Kindle, the lookups are easy, so... I was in Osaka last year, Dotenbori, and I got jumped by a bunch of Japanese dudes on the bridge who forced me to wear a baseball shirt and take pictures with them. That sounds like fun. Have you ever read Musashi? I heard it's a pivotal piece of Japanese literature. I have not. Same. I like that guy. I always look away and then try to listen to the conversations.
アスレチックコンペティションみたいなやつ、そのタイムアタック武蔵。
古い本かな？
それはちょっと読んだことないです。
And then Hunter TC, I remember you saying you don't like AI for getting sentence meanings translations, and I agree. But what do you think of using it for conversations or make an English paragraph for me to translate? Conversations, I've never used it for that, so I don't know anything about that. It might be useful. As for make an English paragraph for me to translate, I'm against translating as a learner. Some of my tests have translations in them, and I want to go back and change that because I've totally changed my tune on that over the past few years. Basically, like, I don't think you should be translating from Japanese to English, at least not in like a beautified way. Literal translations are fine to help you get a feel for a language or sentences, especially early on. But translating from English into Japanese is almost useless as a skill, I feel like, for learners. Generally speaking, like people who translate books from, for example, in English to Japanese, it's natives who are really good at English translating into Japanese. And the reverse is true also. People translating Japanese into English, it's native English speakers translating into English, because you actually have to be a good writer in your native language to be able to translate well. Because otherwise nobody will want to read what you're translating. And the same thing goes for translating as a learner. If you're not already like really, really good at Japanese, translating from English to Japanese is like almost an impossible task. And translations never work one-to-one. So it's really, really not super useful for you to get used to the format of a language by translating from your native language into that language. That's actually like the habit you want to get out of immediately. As quickly as possible, you want to get out of the habit of going from English to Japanese and instead have ideas and figure out how to express them using the Japanese that you already know, not English sentences and try and go exactly same English sentence into Japanese. Like doing that is a sure way to have the weirdest Japanese sentence you've ever seen and have people just be like, huh? So yeah, that's not something I recommend, even with or without AI. So that's how you say X in Japanese. My friend has made the same argument. He said more or less you just need to learn Japanese, not how to speak English in Japanese. Exactly. That's it. You don't want to learn how to speak English in Japanese. The Genki workbooks make you translate English into Japanese. Yeah. And I don't like those exercises. I found that they're tough. When I was in Haiti, they told me to learn to think in Haitian Creole, not translate. Yep. That's the trick. That's the trick. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. That's why no one likes to do it. It's very uncomfortable to do. But it makes life a lot easier if you do it. All right, let's see our next word.
もう外に出る？出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれ、ない。
いや、この下だよ。
すごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ、この島の人口は何人
？16人だよ。
あれ、アンディ、手に何を持っているの？
ドーナツだよ。
一口ください。
いいよ。
料理が上手。
一口とはShe ate the whole thing.
すいませんね、ほんと。
That wasn't intentional.
美味しかったの。
There's an item in Animal Crossing that you can get, like those donuts, and there's ice creams too, but I didn't have any. And you can only take 3 bites before it disappears. And I gave her the donut, and we took the first shot, and the donut disappeared. There was only 1 bite left in the donut. Luckily, we got the shot we needed. Donuts.
Donut.
Hi, yeah, I agree. Not one-to-one translations, but I mean, like, to use it, like, Apple, like, here's this sentence. How do you say it in Japanese? Like, I don't want to do anything today. Kyou nani mo shitakunai. I mean, yeah, you can do stuff like that. But once again, if you're starting from the English, it can build some really bad habits. So I'm not sure. You'd be better off just reading a lot and then shadowing and then just actually, I don't know, but it's hard to say because if you don't have anyone to talk to or to practice speaking, stuff like that might be helpful. It must have been a super yummy donut. Yeah. All right.
全然関係ないけど、超バッドハビットが出てるここに。
あ、そう。
めっちゃペン回してた。
あ、そうなんだ。いいじゃん。
いや、すごい。
We don't consider that a bad habit. In Japan, it's considered a bad habit. Hi, so let's go ahead and have Yuki write our word hitokuchi, which is 1 bite. It's the kanji, the number 1, and the word for mouth. The word for mouth is kuchi. That's mouth. So 1 mouth means 1 bite. A single mouthful. 1 bite. Hitokuchi ne. Okay, so that's fine. We've done all of these kanji a million times, so there's not much to do, but it is interesting. I love this word just because just 1 mouth becomes somehow 1 bite.
こんな感じですね。
ね。
いい感じ。
My 1 is a little bit short, maybe.
いいよ、すごいいい感じだよ。
ありがとう。
口のこの右側、
もっとまっすぐ。
いい、書いてみてください。
はい、どうぞ。
うんう
何
ん、いい。
はい
今2回目のやつはすごいあんまり気にならないんだけど、
はい
このこう1回目書くじゃない、
はい。
まあこんなに斜めじゃなくてもいいんだけど、このぐらいか、
はい。
でこれをさ、この
うん
アンディがね、できてる時とできてない時があるんだけど、
うん。
これをこっち側に、この
はいはいはいはい
内側に
来た方がいい
持っていく、
ですよね。
そうそうそう、
うんうんうん
このただ下に下ろすのではなく、
はいはい。
そう、もうちょっと気持ちいいインサイド、気持ちアップからの気持ちいいgo back to inside でお願いします。
はい。
そうすると割とそのバラ
A
ン
little bit
ス、
too much there, but yeah.
いいですよ、いい、すごいかっこいい感じ。うん、いい、
うんうんうん。
うん、いい感じ、とってもいいです。
ありがとうござい
それが
ます。
ね、なんかできてる時とできてない時が
It's not
そうそうそう、できてないとちょっと口がウェイってなってる感じに
はいはいはいはい
なっちゃうから、
ありがとうございます。Words like this make me laugh because the deconstruction of the word is so practical, right? It's very useful. Tony says, show us the pen 回し。
そんなできないよね。こんな、こういうのだよね。
Whoa. It's like a drumstick thingy.
そうそう。
I can do drumsticks. I can't do a
こ
pen. Drumsticks are way easier to make it look like you're doing something cool
う
with.
ね、こういう、ここがね、引っかかんだよね、ここ。
There's a link to this pen in the description. It's a penteru pen. It's a
ペン回しか。
very thin side and it's got a fat side. 筆文字違うね。
筆文字。
筆文字だよね。Of course. Duh.
筆文字。
筆文字。Of course. Duh. 筆文字 pen.
はい。
All right. So our next word is going to be this one.
もう、外に出る？出口はどこ？
上にあるよ。
あれ、ない。
いや、この下だよ。
すごい廊下だね。
こっちだよ。
ねえねえ、この島の人口は何人
？16人だよ。
あれ、アンディ、手に何を持っているの？
ドーナツだよ。
一口ください。
いいよ。
料理が上手だね。
いや、下手だよ。Alright, we'll do both of those words this time. We've got 上手 and 下手. One quick thing to add for you, Hunter T. See, one thing I forgot. One thing that I think is really useful for practicing speaking that people underestimate is reading out loud. Not just shadowing, but actually like when you're reading a story or something, actually making the effort to read it out loud, even if there's no one in the room. Especially if there's no one in the room. If you can have someone listen to you reading it, even better. But just reading out loud gets your mouth used to actually getting words out. Of course, they might not naturally come to your head as quickly as you like, but the more used to you get to certain words, the more they will just pop out. And the more you speak it by reading it out loud, the more you'll get used to speaking the language. So that's another thing you can do to practice, more so than like just trying to come up with your own sentences or translating stuff. Reading out loud can be really helpful. Yuki's going to go ahead and write 上手 for us.
私最近そのさ、speaking out loud の練習していますよね。
Yuki and I have been doing English lessons every day. So that's been fun.
難しいんだよ。
That was her birthday present. She gets English lessons for a year every day. One of her birthday presents. Mm-hmm. 日本語が上手だね。
ありがとうございます。
Gotcha. Yeah, in the end, the only real way to get conversation practice, the only, like, it's annoying, but the only real way to get better at conversation is to conversate. Is to talk to people. You can use things like Hello Talk to get free conversation stuff. If you don't mind spending the money, italki lessons, just doing free conversation lessons, and just doing it. Like, it's really uncomfortable in the beginning, but in the end, it's the most uncomfortable thing to overcome. But just doing it is the only way I was able to ever improve.
どうでしょう。
結構上手だね。
あり
英語
がとうございます。
上手になるよね。そう思いますよ。
なるといいんですけどね。
うん
ほんとね、まずね、ベーシックで、日本人さんは音が少ない。
そう。
音が
少ないんですよ。
もうあとかえとかね、いとかえはね、ほぼむずい。同じに聞こえる。
Yep, that's really hard for Japanese learners. Oh, you can't even see. My little thing there is way too tall. But it is what it is.
い
え
このえの口でい言うやつとか、とか、そうあの口であ言うやつとか、
はい。
もうね、聞こえないしできないわけですよ。
Yeah, so she's saying it's really hard to say things like it and it. It is fine, but it, like Japanese people, and this is weird for us to think about, I think, as English speakers, because we have so many sounds. But Japanese people can't hear the difference between and well, they can hear the difference between and but and it and it. The is invisible to them. It sounds like either or depending on the word, right? So they can't hear it, so they don't know how to say it.
So
literally can't hear it. And a lot of other sounds, because we have so many sounds in English that they don't have in Japanese. So they just can't hear it at all. Which is interesting because this is why there are so many Japanese language creators, foreigners like me, who are super critical of foreigners' pronunciation, but when Japanese people aren't really. And that's because we use a lot of sounds when we're speaking Japanese that don't exist in Japanese, but Japanese listeners, generally speaking, can't hear the difference. They don't, like, in general, like if Yuki is pretty good at English, so if I say omoshiroi or Amerikajin instead of Amerikajin and omoshiroi, she knows that it's not quite right, but your average Japanese person isn't even gonna notice. But your average American who learned Japanese as a second language and is really picky about pronunciation is going to notice. So, like, I notice pronunciation mistakes when we're going over our challenges a lot of times before Yuki does. She'll be like, "Oh, that's fine," and I'm like, "No, they said this." It's something that she can't even hear it. So that's something to keep in mind, and something that you can actually feel kind of good about, and don't get too neurotic about it, because it's good to try and sound as correct as you can, but a lot of people don't care that much. So don't feel too bad about it if your pronunciation isn't perfect.
ちょっとね、キープインユアマインドしてほしいのが、日本人は キウリと
Mm.
キウイはほぼ同じに聞こえているというか、
Japanese people even the word kiwi, which is
あの
kiwi, which is
イングリッシュ
kiwis.
キウイと、
うん
キウにジャパニーズキュウリ
Kiuri
は
ね。
ほぼ同じだと。
Kiuri is cucumber in Japanese. Kiuri.
うん、
And then kiwi.
うん、
Kiwi is kiwi in Japanese. But the English kiwi sounds to Japanese people like kiuri. Kiuri. Cucumber. We can obviously hear the difference between kiuri and kiwi, but they can't. Even though it's their own words. Kiuri, kiwi, and kiuri.
そ
Uh,
う。キウ
even if you say it right, a lot of people, especially older people, will think you're talking about cucumbers. And even like Yuki's grandmother calls kiwis kiwi fruits, like cucumber fruits. That's what she thinks it is, because people can't hear that sound. So don't worry about it too much. Fun thing. Okay, let's move on to heta. By the way, was my
そう
jozu okay?
いい、結構上手に書けています。
ありがとうございます
いい感じだよ。
よかったです。
ね、手のこの
なんか届いてる？
なんか来たかも。
Okay.
なんかこの手のこの下の部分、
はい。
結構上手に書けて
あり
ると
がとうございま
思います。
す。
はい。
じゃあ、we'll go ahead and have Yuki write heta,
うんうんうん
and I'm gonna go. I think we got something delivered.
はい。
お待たせ。Cucumber fruits. Isn't cucumber technically a fruit? I can't remember. It's not, right? Is it? I can't remember. I mean, my English pronunciation isn't great either as a natural English speaker. It's funny how fast and loose we'll be with our native language, but demand nearly perfection from our second language. Yeah, for sure. And people will say it's because native Japanese people are loose with Japanese in ways different than how we're loose with it, and that's true as well. So you have to be careful. But Japanese is way more forgiving than a lot of people think. Vegetable. Anyway, okay, so that was heta. I get more practice with te,
Hi.
which I am not unhappy about. Get the compare going here.
まあ、舌はね、多分大丈夫だと思うんですけど。
完全、まあ、
うんうんうん。
I can always make mistakes. Right.
キューカンバーってフルーツじゃないよね。
I don't think so. My swipe up was a little bit too tiny there.
あ、でも大丈夫だよ。
Wanted to
い
go
い
like
よ。
that. はい。どうすか？
まあちょっと付け足したのがカリグラフィール
Not allowed to
ー
add
は
like I just
そ
did
う
there.
ちょっと良くないですね。非常に、
そうだね。I was just
そう
saying I wanted to do that is
うん
all I was saying.
そうそれがちょっと非常に良くなかったと思いました。
はい、ゴジラ。
ゴジラはフォローしていますのでベーシックのカリグラフィールールを。
はい、すいませんでした。
うんうんうん。舌は非常に上手に書けてるよね。はーい。いいね。ここまではいい感じ。うん うんいい上手かなりいい感じです
I wrote 下
はい
手上手
うん
Yay!
下手上手に書けてるとってもいい感じだと思います
But technically, strawberries are also vegetables, right? Strawberries are a vegetable and a fruit. Technically, could be both or something like that. Yeah.
うんそ
Mm.
ううん
And then
So-
watermelon is a
vegetables
yeah, it's weird. The actual category, tomatoes are fruits, right? The categories are
いや
weird.
トメイトフルーツマ
Tomatoes
ジ
are technically
で
fruits because the plant they grow in is technically a tree.
そうなのあれツ
I
リー
believe.
そっか
I
いちごはバインか
So strawberries grow on vines, not on trees. So technically they're a vegetable. And then cucumbers also grow on.
あれバインじゃない
Is that a vine?
だってさキューカンバーってさスクワッシュタイプでしょ、
Mm,
スクワッシュカテゴリーはバインズじゃない、
Right. maybe, yeah. And then, yeah, Nimitz the fish is correct. The strawberries are technically not berries
お
because they're
ー
not. Yeah, they don't grow.
スマートですね
But bananas are. Bananas, yeah, bananas are technically berries, right?
うんうんうんうん
Our categories are weird, but it is what it is. If it formed from the ovary of a flower, it's a fruit. Right, there you go. Okay, so then maybe strawberries are a fruit? Technically, things get tricky. Berries are not fruits, they are aggregates. Strawberries an aggregate. Seeds on outside. Ah, interesting. Okay. So see, Montana Margo knows more about that than I do.
へー
Banana berries. Bananas in
ねえ
chat.
この seeds on outside っていうのもまたねちょっと make
that's a weird
people
one, right?
confusing だよね
Strawberries. But did you know that you don't need seeds to increase your strawberry plants? See, this is weird. I didn't know this about trees or fruits. You can like strawberries like multiply. The plant itself multiplies. The plant it pulls out a runner, and then that adds like it has its own roots, and they dig in. And then if you cut it off the other plant, that grows into a new plant. Yuki turned one or two plants, strawberry plants, into 200 last year. 1 year.
So-
One or two plants became 200 throughout the year. We had so many strawberries. And then, and for trees, if there's like a new branch coming off, like a brand new one that's like brand new and green, and you cut it off at the base and then stick it in dirt, it'll grow a new tree. What? Does everyone know this? And I just like thought like my idea of the world in general was just completely wrong. It was a whole new world when I learned about that. And then when I saw it actually happen, that was wild.
一応言うとねほとんどの木はブランチを切って ベジもそうなんですけどブランチを切って
Vegetables as well.
そこをね、埋めとくだけで
You just cut off a part of a vegetable plant,
plant.
stick it in the ground, and it grows a new vegetable plant. What? Was this like common knowledge? But that I did know, Hunter TC. That for some reason I knew that, but not the other thing. Like you can stick branches onto other trees and then make a mixed tree. For some reason I knew that, but I didn't know you could do it with just like a branch from a tree into the ground. I don't know why. Weird. It's pretty cool though.
ニュープラントではないよねクローンだよねそれが
A clone, yeah.
それがクローンナチュラルクローン
It's
だよ
crazy,
ね
right? First, wild.
嘘だねって言ってるよ嘘
Anyway. So yeah, that's it. That was lesson 11, guys.
はい
I hope you learned a little something. Next week will be lesson 12. By the way, lesson 12 is finished. It's edited. I'm going to be uploading it to the website today. If you're a member there, you can check that out along with all the worksheets. I'm going to put this worksheet, which, the reason I forgot to tell you why the stream didn't start. This worksheet, I created it for lesson 12, and we had lesson 12 lined up here to go.
ね
And I hadn't even created this worksheet for lesson 11, so I had to go ahead and make that really quickly. Fortunately, I'm pretty quick at making these. So
アンディーズディフィカルティだったん
I made this really quick and popped it out for us. So I'll pop this up in the lesson 11 part as well. Dan is already kicking butt on lesson 13 edit. I'm going to start scripting lesson 14 today.
ありがとうございますダン
N4 deck. Is there an update on your N4
So,
rank? I talked about
N4
that early in the stream, actually.
もうちょっと
A little bit more.
there
We're almost there. We're almost there on the N4 kanji deck. We finished all the sentences. We finished the entire order. Finished all the stories. Finished all the histories. I just got to draw the pictures, which will go faster than you actually think. I think Yuki's going to help me with that. So that'll get blasted through with some basic data prep, and then that'll be done. That's the kanji deck, though. The N4 vocabulary deck, that's a little bit further off, but we do have all the words and all the grammar chosen. We just have to order that up, and then Yuki and I will create sentences together. But I think we'll be able to get that one done pretty quickly as well. But we're also working on our own SRS system for the website. Sort of a secret. Only you guys know about it. 45 of you. Which is going to be, it's going to have everything I wish Anki was. And it's just going to be our decks. So, should be good. We'll see. Do you know anywhere from JLPT practice exams questions? I haven't really looked, but the official practice questions I saw were the same every time. I think there's an app. I think it's Topi or Togi, or I can't remember the name of the app. If you're in the Discord, Phil always recommends it. I can't remember the name of it. There's a good app though. There's a really bad app. Migi is terrible. Don't use that app for the JLPT. I used it, and there were so many mistakes in the tests and questions. Like, it was basically useless. Fortunately, like, I knew that it was a mistake, so I still found it useful for getting like I did a quick practice M1 test before I took the test, just to see what the question format was going to be like. But like, a bunch of them were wrong, which was, I wasn't taking it to practice the Japanese, which is why I didn't care so much. I was just doing it for the format of the test. But then there's another one. I think it's Topi or Togi. I can't remember. And that one apparently has much better tests, practice tests. Any chance we can still have it as Anki? Generally speaking, we'll probably still release it as Anki deck as well, although we might limit the Anki downloads to annual and lifetime members. I haven't made a full decision on that. The one thing I will say is that because of the way we're making the new system for our own SRS, and this is because, like, you'd be surprised how few people actually want to use Anki. And there's a lot of people that find Anki very difficult to work with. That's why we're doing it on the website. So there's less friction between people getting actually use of SRS and having to download. Like, when we have to update an Anki deck, it's a mess. It's just such a pain in the neck. So while we will release the future decks as Anki decks as well, we won't be updating them because it's just going to be too much work. It's going to be so easy for us to update our own system, and it'll just automatically update it over everyone's decks that we probably won't be offering the updates. I'll keep a list of the updates we make so that people can update the cards themselves, but it will probably just like the Anki deck will be there, and then that'll be it. And maybe there will be a huge list of updates that need to be made to it or something, but we'll see. 新しいフラッシュカードデックを楽しみ。よかったです。ありがとうございます。
ねえ、私たち全部のN4 のセンテンス、ちょっともうリトゥンだよね、ほんと。リトゥンしました。
We're gonna need like 500 videos to fortunately, Nate, I don't think you need to do what we're doing here for all 2,200 kanji. Like, most people don't need to be able to do this way for all 2,000. I think this kind of series will be good up until about N3, and from there, really, you should be able to do all of this on your own in your own way. So we will likely not try to cover all the Joyo kanji in this video format, but we'll see. I think this is really useful for the first, like, maybe up to N3. Maybe N4 is really the limit, but we'll see. Woo, yeah, that's rough. 8,500 views is rough. That's the one downside to Anki, eh? We'll definitely have a vacation mode. Although vacation mode sort of defeats the purpose of SRS, but still I think it's necessary. Yeah. I want to invest when your new SRS goes viral worldwide and takes over Anki. Yeah, I'm not going to release it as an app, at least at first. It'll just be on the website, but it'd be cool if we could make it. I definitely want to specialize. I don't want to like branch out and make it huge. Like, I'm not going to be a competitor to Anki. It's just going to be, although maybe we could someday. We'll see. All right.
私はもうテクノロジーについていけないので。
はい。ToKini Andy. Ooh, that's good.
Wow, ToKini Andy 出る?
We have a different project name for it, but you'll see that when it gets closer. It's not quite ready for public release yet. But currently in plan is to have a Hiragana deck for our Hiragana video. and all the kanji decks and all the vocabulary decks, and hopefully more to come. We'll see. Maybe some more fun decks too. Yuki's working on an exciting one, but that's a little ways off as well.
そうそれもちょっとアンディのチェックが
So. Hi.
はーい
All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful week. We'll see you for lesson 12 next week. The Discord server is pretty much like locked. There's not much open to the public. If you're a member of the site, there's a link in the drop down more menu. So next to your user marker, there's a drop down menu, and you can get into the locked portion of the Discord. It used to be public. It was too much work to moderate and stuff, and it was too much work to moderate moderators, and I privated it. So,
はい
that's that. All right, guys. We will see you next week for lesson 12, and the following week will be the live stream for that. Lesson 12 will be live on the website later today, and lesson 13 will probably be ready later in the week or next week. So, yeah.
次のライブストリームの時にはまたシーズナルイラストがリリースになります。夏バージョン。
Hi, in the next live stream, we'll be releasing the new. I don't have my phone here. Seasonal background for your phone. This one's really leveled up. This is a good one.
そう
I've been using all of our seasonal backgrounds that Yuki makes for the website members. You can get those also in the same drop down as the Discord thing. The current one up there is from spring, but the summer one will be releasing in a week or two. And it's cool.
鯉
It's
の
pretty
ぼ
good.
りバージョンになってるんです
Good to
け
see
ど
you too,
今
Nimis the fish. So easy to moderate the streams. Yes, everyone is very, very well behaved. Thank you.
ねえありがとうございま
All
す
right. All right, guys, we'll have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
はい
Hi. Say no.
また次のビデオで会いましょうね。
Hi. 会いましょうね。Okay, guys. See you later. See you in the next
みん
one.
なありがとうござい
Have
ます
a wonderful
またね
time. Bye bye.